guys, it's me. Today I'm bringing you a video talking about a particular website that I love for buying comics, and it's called ComicsEtc. It's a store based up in Queensland, and they have really good prices for what you want to get, and a lot of them actually are really cheap. I visited them in the last couple of weeks, and I got a couple of things that I wanted to particularly show you, and yeah, just discuss a few reasons why I like the store. So if you have seen my Supernova book haul, I hauled all these, but I wanted to do just a separate video for those who weren't interested in Supernova and all things and just wanted to look at the comics that I got. So the first thing I have here is a preview book. And preview books are usually just used to show you what's up and coming in the new year. In this case, this is the February 2016, and it's got a lot of like pages with like new books and interviews and stuff like that. So yeah, like I got it because I like this picture of Wonder Woman. But Wonder Woman is one of my favourite superheroes. And just I can't wait for issue Earth 1 Volume 1. Can't wait for that to come out. So that's this. It's got a pretty spine with like Disney princesses on it and stuff. So that was the first thing I picked up. The second thing I picked up was 4 sort of single issues and 2 trade paperbacks. So I'll go over these now. Spider-Gwen #1, Radioactive by Marvel. I've heard a lot of good things about Spider-Gwen and I want to start it, so I thought this would be a good place to start. And on the flip side of this, I bought Slash and Burn, and this was basically for the cover because look at that cover, look at it, it's so pretty. And I can't wait to read this. This is from Vertigo and it's issue #1. And I can't wait because if I like sort of this series, I might considering if they've got a trade paperback because it's much more easier than collecting single issues. So that was the second thing I purchased. The next 2 single issues I got was Baby Bump Spider-Woman #1. And this looks interesting. I like the character, I like the art style, and that's why I picked it up. There was another cover for this, but I thought that it was awesome. This one cost me around about $15, and this is like the alternate cover, so yeah. And on the flip side, I bought Angela, Queen of Hell, and this sounds really good as well. I want to read this as well. It's not issue #2. I couldn't find issue #1, but you know, first issues usually just establish the world, and this just dive more into the story, I think. I like this cover. Whoever is doing the art for these is really good. So, yeah, and this was written by Bennett Jacinto and Hans Silvera, so can't wait to get stuck into those 4. And now for the trade paperbacks. The trade paperbacks I bought were for issues and comics that I've already sort of loved, and I just want to have the complete series because in my collection I am missing a few volumes from my complete run of Supreme Blue Rose. And so here we go. The first trade paperback I have is Wicked and the Divine Volume 2. I read Volume 1, loved it, and waited until Volume 2 came out. And so this was good. Good, and I can't wait to get through that. So can't wait to read this. I'm really excited. And finally, probably my favourite trade paperback that I have was Supreme Blue Rose, and I purchased it, and I lit up when I found this. It was Supreme Blue Rose was really, for me, the first sci-fi that I really loved. The characters in it, the development, the world, the sort of issues that the main character deals with. And it is just so good. The basic story is this woman called Diana Dane is hired by a mysterious intelligence agency and she's tasked with finding out the biggest secrets to the biggest mysteries in the 21st century America. And it's full of a lot of stuff. I really like her boss. Her boss is really entertaining. And there is, like, in between, like, some of the panels, there is, like, a comic sort of thing, like Professor Knight. And Professor Knight is really cool. It's just, like, an interview in the middle of, like, the issue. So I picked these two up, and I'm really happy with these two purchases. Like, these probably was one that I really wanted to pick up as well. So, yeah, that's my little mini haul. Now, I did buy one more thing from the comic book shop, and this was actually impulse buy. And this was the Game of Thrones playing cards. Just because I love Game of Thrones, I love playing cards. And the sets, what is in here is really good. I am really happy with this. This was about $10 at ComicsEtc. So that was my little ComicsEtc haul. For those who haven't seen my Supernova haul yet, but yeah. So ComicsEtc is a really cool website. As I said, they are based in Queensland. They do have a shop front, which is at 81 Elizabeth Street, Brisbane, and it is really cool. I really do love their prices, and I've been using them for about a year now, and they're really good. Fast delivery as well. Like, they might ship it out and it might take a week, but at least it's not like 2 weeks or whatever. And I really do love the store, so I want to just give them a big shout out because a lot of my comics come from there. Yeah, so yeah. I will leave their website down below for you to check it out. They also sell Japanese manga, and I find that really cool because I did buy a few volumes. Speaking of which, I did buy a few volumes that I will show you now. So as I mentioned in the last bit of that video, I bought a couple of manga volumes a long time ago from ComicsEtc, and they were, for what I normally paid at like Dimix or something for a manga volume, was really cheap. I think they were about $11. But then again, there might be a lot of other stores that are cheaper, but for me personally, I really do like this selection. And so I'm going to just show you 3 of those now. 2 of them are in a series, and 1 is just part 1 of a series. But let's go. So the first one is a bit of backstory to it. I read Cassandra Claus Infernal Devices, and I wanted something like that, but it was a lot more visual. And so I picked up Black Rose Alice Volume 1. And this one had me hooked on the series, but I couldn't find Volume 2. I might pick Volume 2 up, actually. But this is basically, the first volume tells the guy's story, and the basic premise is that Dimitri has been turned into a vampire, and during a flash forward into the modern era, so the first bit is set in the 1900s Vienna, and then the second bit is set in 2008. So flash forward to 2008, after he's been turned into a vampire. The woman's, who is, I think, pictured here, her boyfriend is dying, and basically Dimitri says, oh, well, I will save your boyfriend if you become the breeding ground for the next generation of vampires. And she agrees, and hijinks, I can basically say. This, really, the first book was basically his story plus hijinks equals very funny, very, not laugh out loud, but very chuckle, cheek and tongue funny. It's interesting. I really, really loved it. I might pick up the second volume soon, maybe the third, because I want to know how this plays out. Especially just because, like, the premise just sounds so intriguing, like, I will save your boyfriend's life if you become the breeding ground for the next generation of vampires. I've seen Twilight, the movie, and I know how they portrayed vampire pregnancy. I want to see how this book portrays it. I want to see that. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. So I might pick up the second volume and the third volume. I don't know how many volumes there are in this series particularly, but it sounded really good. So, yeah. Black Rose Alice. Now, the next two manga volumes I have are part of a series, and number 1 and number 2. So the series is called Demon Love Spell, and this is basically a male succubus is go around stealing girls' hearts, and this shrine worker is like, I've had enough, so she curses him, and he basically turns from his full height into about that size. Hijinks ensue. And the only time he becomes his full size again is in her dreams, and he starts walking her dreams and starts visiting her in her dreams, and they start to fall for one another. And yeah, so this was the first one. The first one was sort of setting up the characters and the story, and then the second one was just full swing ahead. A lot more sort of hijinks and gags in this one than in the first one. But I really enjoyed both of these a lot. And yeah, like I said, these were all $11 each, but I think considering that sometimes in Dimmicks I have to pay like $12 or $13 for one volume is pricey, and I really do like these prices. So yeah, those are all the manga volumes that I've bought from ComicsEtc. And yeah, so this website is really cool. The store's really cool. I look forward to visiting it again next year. And I look forward to buying more stuff from them. I can't wait to get reading all the comic book stuff that I bought. And I can't wait to start, collecting again. So thanks for watching this video. I will leave links to all these that I have bought in the description and alongside the website and everything else. So I will see you guys in the next video.